Hey, what's up, fellas? It's Cletus Coffey. And there are patterns that I'm starting to see emerge in men who are single fathers and are also entrepreneurs. They are driven to create something so they can have the freedom and the flexibility and the finances that they truly want to have in their life, which, as you probably know by now, those things aren't, it's like common sense. Like, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to have the freedom, the finances, the fulfillment, the flexibility. But for most men, that's not the case. With that being said, there are three types of single fathers that I am seeing emerge through this process. And look, it's not going to be earth shattering. However, I want to, and there's various degrees within this, but I just want to put out the three kind of common chunks that I'm seeing. And obviously, one of them being where ultimately I know I want to be, and I want to help support you in getting to that area as well. So the three types of single fathers that I am seeing emerge, and these are patterns, meaning I'm seeing them in multiple men as far as where they're at or where they want to be. The first one is the lowest of the three as far as frequency, and that is the victim. Because if you're living in victimhood, you're living in a lot of shame and guilt and fear and insecurity on, as far as energy-wise frequency, that's a very low level of frequency. And if you're in victim mentality, then you are someone who's blaming others, and oftentimes it's your ex. You might be blaming the economy. Maybe you're blaming your kids. As far as why you cannot feel the things that you want to feel in this life. Now, you're not thinking along those lines because, men, you're not really taught how to feel, nor do you know how to communicate how you're feeling. And that's where a lot of men get hung up and struggle. And so instead of like, hey, this doesn't feel right, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling frustration, I'm whatever you might be feeling in this scenario, you're blaming others as to why you're not seeing results that you want in your life. Maybe it is you're not seeing your kids enough. Maybe it's the way in which your co-parent is parenting them, or the school decisions that she might be making, whatever it may be, or how she's treating you or talking to you or holding the kids over your head. Like, look, I've heard a lot of, I'll just say this, I've heard a lot of different scenarios and situations. Just when you think you have it bad, there are other men out there who have it much worse than you do. So let's be grateful for where you're at and know that, hey, we can work on us to get better. We can't control others. I digress. The victim. The victim is consistently focusing and blaming on others for the scenario that they're in. And what they're looking for is someone to come save them. Fellas, this was me. I was so in victimhood after my divorce, blaming the situation that I was in, blaming the fact that, she left me and cheated on me, and she, blah, 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 just victim. And I did not know or even understand how to shine a light back on me. And so, I wanted everyone on my side. You victims out there, you know that game really well. You want everyone on your side. You want your family on your side. You want her family on your side. You want the kids on your side. And so you're saying bad things to the kids about your co-parent, and because you want them to love you and like you more because she screwed you. She wronged you. Get it? I've been in that capacity. And that's ego right there. And in that, no one's coming to save you. I have prayed someone would just come pluck me out of my car and save me, if you know my story. And I was triggered. And if you're a victim, you're triggered as well. You're triggered by the fact that what you're seeing in this new relationship with a co-parent or with your kids or with your coworkers or with a colleague or another business owner, what you're seeing and what you're blaming them for is what they're reflecting back to you. And they're reflecting back to you your insecurity and your fear and your unwillingness to master yourself, your unwillingness to address your vulnerabilities and your insecurities and your fears. And so thus, instead of doing that, it's much easier to blame. That's why it's on a lower frequency. It's easy to do that mess, to point fingers, to blame, to be the victim. Okay. I don't want to beat that horse too much, but I hope you're getting the gist of this. And for a lot of men, they are still, I don't care how much money they have, they still play this victim role, and they want revenge. They want others to hurt, just like they're hurting. Instead of shining the light back on us, victims want other people to feel pain. They want them to hurt. That's not what you want. You don't want someone else to hurt. You don't want someone else to get hurt. You don't want someone else to, as much as you're like, yeah, I do. No, you don't. Because if you're focusing on that, you're not focusing on you. If you're focusing on blaming others, you're not focusing on you. You got to focus on you. Victims, own it. If you're a victim, own it. There's a lot of victim that I embodied, especially coming out of a divorce, being a single father, all the shame and the guilt I felt, and it did not feel good to sit in that. So it felt easier to blame. You don't want to do that. You got to start to sit in it. Sit in that shame, in that guilt, get to the truth about what you're feeling. And that's how we become aware. And once you're aware that you are playing a victim, then you can start the process to own the truth, take responsibility, and chart a new path. But awareness comes first. Don't tell me like, I'm not a victim anymore. I figured it out. Bullshit. Doesn't work that way. Awareness is that first step. Okay. The next type of single father is the fan. Now I'm going to use sport terms here. You're playing the fan. You're done playing the victim, or in most larger capacity, I'm still willing to bet that there's some victimhood living underneath the surface there. But you're the fan, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go live my life. She took the kids, or she's got majority custody, and I don't get to see them very much, so screw it. I'm going to go live my life. And now you're the fan. So think about the game, and the game is being played on the field, and you're up in the stands. Sure, you may still come to a game and actually be a fan. Maybe you show up to school to support them, but in their lives of your children, I'm talking about here, you're just the fan. You're just there to support. You're not making any decisions. You're not stepping into your masculine power and taking action and pointing direction and getting involved and saying, yes, I want to be there for the parent-teacher meetings. I want to be involved on every single call with the teachers that's going on, and signing them up. I'm not saying you have to do all the actions, because that's when working together with a proper co-parent. If you have that opportunity, that would be nice. But even if you can't work with a co-parent, if there's a scenario where that's just not currently where you're at, it's the decisions when you actually have your kids. Now, why I'm focusing on the kids first and foremost here, and that family dynamic, because how you show up in your parenting with your kids is how you're showing up in all other areas of your life. So if you're on standby, if you're just a fan, you get them, you feed them some mac and cheese, some peanut butter jelly sandwiches, you send them off to school and back to their mother or to their co-parent, and you're just being a fan. And sure, you're quote unquote there. Hey, you're not there in the way in which they need you. So, which means you're a fan in your business. You're not driving. You're stepping in as the masculine man, a leader to chart a course, a strategy, taking action. And you're probably blaming, I don't have the right hires, they're not doing this, or you're blaming the economy, or, interest rates are too high right now, and all this BS that you're blaming, still holding on to some of that victim. And you're just kind of sitting back and going, okay, just hopefully this is going to work out. Or just continue to kind of collect your check and being mediocre and paying yourself a little bit here and there. Man, If that's for you, like I said, there's no judgment here, but I can tell you that there's so much more to be had in this lifetime. If you're showing up in like that, you're showing up as a fan in your health, you stand by her, you're not really taking ownership of your well-being, your body, doing the work that is required to ensure that as a, wherever you're at, a middle-aged man, that you're not doing this peak in my 20s and then phew, straight down the mountain. Dude, that is, you're not going to be able to maximize your time here on this earth in this physical form versus going up the mountain and then kind of a steady decline down the mountain. Obviously, you need to not just be a spectator in your health, but an actual owner of this body and stepping in and charting a course and direction and a strategy for how you want to feel, how you want to look, how you want to perform, because your body is required. So again, you may be making a bunch of money right now. If you're not taking care of your body, there's so much more you're leaving on the table in your business. If you showed up not as a fan, but as an owner of your body, of your parenting, of your business, they all grow congruently. It's not just like we can just do one. I'm just going to make a bunch of money. I'm going to focus on my business. I hear it all the time. Post-divorce, guys, I'm just going to lock in and focus on my business. I'm going to grow my business, make a bunch of money. I'm going to kill it. Man, doesn't happen. Or if it does, it's temporary. The third one in this is the torchbearer. And this is that man who is standing in his power of self-mastery, taking that torch, lighting that sucker, and going forward as that leader, like, follow me. See, when you're in that darkness, the victim is waiting for someone to bring them the light. Show me the way out. I need help. Woe is me. The fan is like, hey, okay, someone else can lead me out of this darkness. Oh, I see a little bit of light. I'm going to follow that person and kind of do what they say, and I'll just kind of be a bystander here. And everything is all good. The torchbearer says, give me that fire. I'm going to lead and get myself out. And once you do that, once you have the torch, then you can be in that position where those that don't have the torch in their hand can follow. You can lead those, such as your children, such as a new partner in your life. And you may already be in a new relationship, or maybe you're out there looking for one. It doesn't matter either way. You can lead in that relationship. You can lead in your business. You can be an example of what is possible to others. That is my mission. As men, we are mission focused. And if you don't have a mission, you're going to play a victim role. You're going to be in fandom, hanging out, just cheering your favorite team, waiting for Sundays to watch football, to be a fan, waiting for your kids' games so you can live vicariously through them and be a fan. Let your co-parent kind of take the reins and do all the work and make all the decisions so you can just be a fan. Bullshit. No more. If you know that there is more for you in this lifetime, it's time for you to be a torch bearer. What this requires is vulnerability. And it requires you to do the things that you will never been taught how to do, how to feel, how to develop a strong level of thoughts, beliefs, actions, which is emotional intelligence. This isn't about you just strapping all the weight on your shoulders and just trying to break through a brick wall here, man. This is about you lighting the fire that's inside of you. Light that torch, become the torch bearer, and lead those in your life from a place of power, self-mastery. I know who I am. That's self-mastery. I know who I am, and I'm continuing to evolve and grow and discovering that person through the process. It's not like it's done. I know I am. Okay, case closed. No, it's an evolution here. But I know who I am in the present moment. And if you're on board with me, awesome. If you're not, awesome. Now you know. You don't have to fake to be someone that you aren't in order to have your children's love, in order to have a collaborative co-parenting relationship, to find a new partner in your life, a true soulmate. for you to have the business that just lights you on fire, have the body, the health and well-being so you can be there for your family, for yourself, for your all the thing that you want, your business, everything in your life. So I'm seeing victim, I'm seeing the fan, those standby folks, and I'm seeing the torchbearer. If you are someone who's like, man, I want to be a torchbearer, then there's a couple things. Number one, you need to start to develop a level of awareness of who you are. And that's being open, honest, vulnerable. That's being very raw with yourself about the truth about where you're at right now. And most men can't get there. They can't. They won't let themselves get there. Let me rephrase that. They can get there. They're just in their own way and not allowing themselves to do that. That was me. I was constantly, everyone saw my potential. And yet, I mean, I even had former partners in the past going like, Cletus, like, I see it, but for some reason, you're just in your own way. And I'm going, okay, I'm in my own way. That's what people are telling me. And I was listening to other people's advice and insight and how they saw me or their judgments of me. And I just was not locking in on myself and getting to the truth of me. And once I was able to have the peace and the dedication and discipline to do that, that's where my life changed. So my friends, I hope this provided a little bit of clarity just on some three main patterns that I'm seeing. Again, there are definitely some variables and things along the way, but a victim is a very, very low frequency. A torchbearer is standing in power, very, very high frequency. Love, empathy, compassion. Imagine on that scale, if you're at the victim level, you're going to be attracting other victims. And you probably have done that. You've maybe met with a friend of yours who also got divorced, and you're all just kind of bagging on your exes, your co-parents. She's being this, that, she's crazy and all this. Man, that is super low frequency, dude. You're going to attract more of that stuff. And by doing that, you're blocking those who are at higher frequency because you're not attuned to them. Now we're getting out of the 3D world and getting into the unified field here, right? And the being dimension. Dude, if you're a torchbearer, you're standing in your power, you know who you are. That's where innovation and creativity comes from. That's where new business ideas go. Sure, you're making a bunch of money right now. Imagine when you're a torchbearer, how much more money you would make if that was something that you were meant to have, or how much freedom you would have finally in your life because you're done focusing on making money. So becoming that torchbearer is a much higher level frequency. You're going to attract other torchbearers into your life. And you are surrounding yourself by a group of men and a group of women, a partner and children in your life. You have an incredible opportunity to really be unstoppable. That would be my wish for you, my friends. So, hey, I could use your help in this process in helping other men unlock and uncover the torchbearer that's inside of you. First, if you could just subscribe to this channel here, that obviously helps grow this. If you can leave a 5-star review, leave a review. I'm open to feedback, man. Ping me on Cletus Coffey on all social channels and let me know what more are you looking for? What type of content can I provide for you? And man, let me know where you're at. Be honest on social. Are you a victim? Are you the fan? Are you the torchbearer? And if you're interested in being a torchbearer, we've got options and solutions for you. If you go to bethetorch.com/academy waitlist, right now, that's the best way to get onto the waitlist, to be the first in line to be notified when the academy opens up. Registration generally is in 90-day cycles. So in this process, you will have an opportunity to get access to our academy registration. If you're on the list, to be the first to be notified. So this is the call to action for you to become the torchbearer. Number one, stay attuned to the Be the Torch podcast. Again, go ahead and subscribe to it. Leave us a rating. That'd be super helpful. And number two, go to bethetorch.com/academy waitlist. Jump on our waitlist. to be the first notified when we open the doors to our next academy. All right, my friends, go out there, be a torchbearer. This is your opportunity. What other choice do you have? Do you want to have than to be someone who can stand in power of self-mastery? Go get it, my friends.